hi to everybody. Welcome to the stream of, Hassan is an absolute idiot. And yeah, I just have no words about that. Okay, here I have a ton of amazing guests, the dignified gentleman, Kit from Chicago Reacts, the common nerds from the common nerds, and Ryan from actually many, many channels. So, hi to you guys.
Yes.
Hi.
What
What
a
is
what a
going
show,
on?
folks!
Salutations. Lovely to see everyone here.
Yeah,
Great,
absolutely.
100%.
what a great panel, folks! And for the first time ever on a network show, we had a good 10 to 20 minutes of us having a good talk while an intro was playing. A nice, surprising innovation there. Uh,
I
fingers fingers crossed everyone has a good time. These two down here, it's been a long time since they talk, and they get on like a house on fire, which just goes to show
does that
that,
mean
that when you do
We're
this for
pyromaniacs.
so
We like to
long,
burn things.
when you do this for so long, folks, you meet so many great people. It's
Okay, hold on,
unbelievable.
guys. We just have to make sure the audio is great. So I put the volume for you guys a bit up. Can you say something real quick so people can tell us if the volume is good?
This is Kit. 5x5, 5x5. I hope I am 5x5.
This is
Yeah.
Jesse with the Common Nerd. I bring you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens.
I'm Ryan from Legion Talk. Legion teaches history, Legion Wire, and Legion Games 2076, and I have no idea why I was invited. So,
I don't know why he was invited either.
Empress is almost muted. Others are fine. How am I almost muted? I see my mic looks oh, I see the problem. Yeah. The main settings of the mic
Crank it
were
up.
very low for absolutely no reason at all. So how is it now, Yasto? It should be 10 times better, actually. 10 times better. Okay. Let's see, let's
Well,
see.
for
Oh,
me,
all good now. Thank you, dear Clayton. Perfect Empress from Yasto. So, hi to, of course, man of culture. You, dignified gentlemen, are in the chat. Chicago Reacts also. Kid, you're in the chat. SEO, the common nerds, of course. Furious Dan and Furious Dan, thank you so much for the two. You're getting the Wonder Woman salute. First one of the night, Logan. Yasto, I think I said Yasto, and I hope I didn't miss anyone. Oh, Lord Ragniel, my neighbor by country, and oh yes, GRR24, who said bonjour. Of course, Legion Talk, you're also in the chat. Joey, and yeah, I think I'm all caught up for now. So, Digny, take it away.
well, to do my mic test, folks, of course, Black Lives Matter. Wakanda is forever. And, well, we appreciate you all very much for being here. What we're doing, folks, is that we're using StreamYard, but it's through OBS. So that's the innovations we're talking about on Empress's end. I'm terrified of innovations, so I'm very nervous about this.
You just click
Um,
whatever
Second
you
creeps.
want, it's the same. Like, it's just different for me. Click whatever.
but we appreciate Furious Dan for his donation. I don't know if we can bring it up, but
No.
Furious Dan says,
No, it won't.
by the way, shout out to everyone here, and we appreciate you, Dan.
I just don't understand. Like, apparently my tips to Ice are not working. Furious Dan is still in the chat. I can't.
Yep.
I mean, how many
That's because
illegal
he
talk?
makes it's because he makes breaks for all ICE employees. That's
Well, he does run an illegal taco truck.
There is a whole bunch of ice in Chicago as it gets colder. There's going to be more ice happening every single time.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That's fun happening in my backyard. You know, I actually saw a couple of Black Hawk helicopters flying in my neck of the woods. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, damn.
Avoid that area.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
don't know,
I think what we
used to
should
work on
do,
the thing, so that's a Tuesday for me. So.
because this is a practically a brand new show, folks. So we're gonna have teething issues, but that's fine. Let's catch up with the panel, and we're gonna start off with our host. How have you been, Empress, since we last had a good talk?
Oh, well, oh, good. I had a very shocking, amazing stream on my main channel just like 2 days ago. There's a Warhammer drama going on between a huge YouTuber, Major Keo, and one other that's not that big, but he's very prominent, the Pontius. So I had to host like a response from one guy to another. It was crazy. Ton of people came. Like that's one of my favorite, most successful stream. Like 3K views just for 2 days. It's amazing. It's a huge scandal in the community, but it was very interesting. So yeah, that's the most exciting thing happening in the last few days.
Excellent. And it's always good to meet new people and to learn new things. And it's always nice to be a topic of the day, but things can get really hot really quick. And we have two guests for today's show. Legion is here replacing Helzo, and if he can make Thursdays, well, the door's always open. And if Helzo can make Thursdays, of course, the door is always open. But now to our first special guest, Kit. He's known by many names, whether it's Chicago Reacts or Hard Lens Media. How have you been, my good man?
Well, first time here. This whole year has been a struggle with both personal and business work-wise. Sometimes through the darkness, you find light. You learn lessons about people. You learn lessons about yourself. And I would say that these past few days, I realized self-care is important. And if you can't take care of yourself, you really can't take care of nobody. And you can't let divisions or politics get the better of you. Now, I learned that lesson, but this lesson was retaught to me again. Like, hey, a reminder, don't let yourself be dragged in with the swamp. And if you know what's better for you, find a beautiful path and live life. Problems come and go. Nothing lasts forever. And you're not alone in the fight. I was recently, some good things, because I won't be all gloom and doom. Because if you know about Hardlands Media, right? I don't want to bring it here in this chat, but I'm in a fight, left hook, right hook. But I was part of a TV show. I did a little small acting gig, and I was also part of a wonderful voice acting project with the wonderful 40K Empress. And I'm doing a couple other things here and there, and just got to live life, and you got to face it one step at a time. All right, so keep on winning, folks. You'll win.
Yeah, that was
I hope-
amazing. That was amazing, and I have been there for Kit, and I just
And I've got nothing but love for you. I have nothing but love and respect for you.
thank you, thank you.
I will.
Thank you.
I will say it's not easy being a cartoon, folks. I remember when I was a human being and I could really read people and they could read me. But now as a cartoon, things are much more difficult. Hopefully there are no audio issues.
There is.
Do let us
You are
know.
in and out. You are it's like up and down, up and down. Like half of your
not
words go
again.
like down and
Make
then
sure,
up.
make sure
Not again.
StreamYards doesn't have you on the auto adjust.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I thought I dealt with this damn audio issue. We're going to let common nerds speak while I fix my problems.
Oh, I guess what I'm supposed to have been up to. I just got off of a stream. I do a live stream weekdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we go over all the pop culture and nerd news, and we just went over that. I actually just had a Warhammer. It's funny because she brought up. I did a Warhammer 40K video over the weekend on the STL leaks. That was a fascinating thing. So if you guys like that stuff, I cover that. I cover pop culture and nerd news, so I pretty much cover all of that kind of stuff. So we had a good time with that. Tonight, Thursday night, we've got we're supposed to have an Is It Good show. We'll see if my co-host can show up. If not, my wife have to sub in. We're supposed to be doing Nefarious tonight, so we're starting some spooky stuff. Almost, I think we're 18 subscribers away from 2,300 on the new YouTube channel after having the last one disappear because of a banana.
Yeah.
And a particular Hollywood director that for some reason wanted to call me out in his Instagram video because his show sucked and was funded by the Canadian government, which means it's actually funded by our tax dollars. Yeah.
Don't give away the
Listen, he
secret
was-
sauce. Don't give
he
away the
was
secret
fun.
sauce.
Dude, yeah, like Julian was great. I love it, dude, because like if you bring that up on FNT now, Az will still go, hi, Julian. He'll still go, direct, Julian.
Yeah, his
so,
show was
yeah, it's
fun.
Dude,
Robin
that
in the
was-
Hood.
Oh my God, that thing was so bad. But
Oh,
yeah,
no.
no, I got a couple of videos recorded this morning, got a bunch of stuff put out the last few days. I'm getting a lot of hate because I decided to speak the truth and say that James Gunn's woke ass Peacemaker season 2 show is flopping in the ratings. I have over 500 views on that video, and I have the best ratio I've ever gotten in my life. I have a 9.1% like to dislike ratio. I have never had a video more disliked in my entire history of
Oh,
being on
I
YouTube for
support
like
you.
4
I
years.
support you. James Gunn is an absolute ass, and he makes everything a complete degeneracy. And I couldn't hate his
Look,
guts more because he ruined
do I
Superman
sound
and
better?
everything. Yes, just
Say
keep
it again.
talking.
Okay, do I sound better now?
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
you sound stable now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do apologize. It's my main computer, you see. I used my old computer last time and yesterday, and there was technical problems. The microphone was working properly, but let's just say the system crash crew didn't tell me I was using the right microphone.
No, that's
That's
perfect.
very,
No.
that's
It's
true.
very annoying. But hopefully,
Why
yes,
always
you were
double
there, Legion. You were there. Hopefully, I
Yeah.
sound fine. Hopefully,
Yeah,
there
there
are
we
no
go.
problems. But do let us know in the chat if there are. Just please. I don't want to embarrass this great group of people.
It's great so far.
All right.
I mean, Digny, you kind of embarrass yourself no matter what. So.
Oh dear. Okay, Ryan, how have you been?
I'm good, man. Like yesterday's stream was a lot of fun. You actually did tell me to fuck off, which was really funny. Over a joke, so that was cool. No, still having like issues with trying to do gaming streams to StreamYards. I'm getting like weird feedback echo, and I hear me when I share the game. I don't understand. So anyway, but recently I actually finished the Thing remastered, and I loved it. I played the original one on the PlayStation 2. It was a lot of fun, and the remastered version is just as good.
Really?
And yeah, absolutely. You can get it on
Thing
Steam.
remastered. Okay. Okay.
Yep,
Cool,
it is the sequel to the actual movie. So, and that movie that came out like 2008, that was like a prequel. It was fine, whatever. But no,
Hey,
the
well,
game is,
don't say things you can't take back. It wasn't.
that's true. Yeah,
Don't
so
say
the
things.
game is a lot of fun, and it's kind of a cult classic for a lot of people.
Good.
Okay, awesome.
Very good.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right then. Hopefully everything's working out because I don't want to embarrass myself on this top show. What we're going to do, folks, is we're going to move into the first topic. And hopefully my signal holds out because it's a very interesting topic. I'll just write it down for, I don't know how long the show has been going, so I can't write timestamps.
It's very
30.
hard
It
for me to stare at
started
you.
34. It started 34 minutes ago.
Oh yes,
but-
34
Okay,
minutes and 40 seconds, or just write 35.
Yes. So technically we started at
Goodness.
1. So technically the video itself, the video of us is 13 minutes. We started 13 minutes ago, but it's 34 minutes.
Okay.
Dude, she has a
Okay.
longer intro than you.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm gonna cut
goodness.
it afterwards.
I
so
saw
only
that
the
thing
news
go
goes.
live, and I'm like, am I late? I thought I had another 20 minutes. I'm like, what are we
Yes, you do. But that kind of way people gather, and they chat. It's like a bit better than nothing.
Well, I'll just point out for this topic because I've been trying to talk about this for a week now, and that is 3.1, not 3.1, 2.1, because it's a topic. Kang Mung Lee gets hired as Benny Johnson saves the day as cancel culture collapses. Now, on Monday, we talked a little bit about Kang Mung Lee getting fired, and then a few hours later, he got hired. So you may be wondering why it's taken nearly a week for us to talk about this topic, and that's mainly because of the fact that scheduling is a bitch, as my father tries to annoy me while I'm doing this intro, because he's trying to distract. Be quiet, you. I can hear you. No one else can, but I can. Go and get a fag, which is a cigarette in the UK. Go and get a cigarette. Eh?
Britannia.
Stop
Britannia.
annoying
Never
me.
forget your true Roman name. Britannia.
Exactly. And that contradicts with the inner lore of Digny, who's supposed to be based in Israel. But just to let everyone know, Kang Mung Lee got fired for his job, mainly for condemning those who were very critical of the murderous political assassination of Charlie Kirk. And as a result of all that, he managed to get hired by Benny Johnson, who came out of nowhere, totally organically, of course. And I thought this topic would be a very interesting example of why cancel culture should collapse. because I don't think it has any place in the world today, especially in the civilized part of the world. I don't know if anyone's aware of Kang Ming Lee,
Mhm.
but
Oh, yeah.
he can be controversial, right? I mean, a Christian in South Korea, it's like, wow, that's aren't they all Moonies over there? You know, they all have like,
he lives in the United States.
oh, that explains it.
He is South Korean, but he lives in the United States.
Yeah.
I'm glad
He was in Gina's movie.
Well, I'm glad, Common Nerd, you specified with South Korean, because everyone says, "Oh, I went to Korea." It's like, no, you went to South Korea, because there's no way
You didn't
you
go
went to
all-
North Korea.
Well, I think everybody just kind of automatically assumes you're not going to North Korea. You know what I mean?
You'd
I
be
think if
surprised
anything,
by
I
that.
would specify if I was going to North Korea. I wouldn't go, I'm just going to the Korean Peninsula. I'd be like, no, I'm going to North Korea. So if you guys don't see me again, you'll understand what happened, okay?
Which, as soon as you hit customs, you're gone. So that's the way it is.
No, wait.
Exactly.
Better yet, you're going to be in North Korean propaganda films as the occasional
Yeah.
Western villain bad guy. Like they had
No,
army guys.
they'll
that-
turn me
they're
into a
always bad.
commentator. They'll see what I've done. They'll turn me into a commentator to spout their propaganda.
Guys, I have
That's
an
all right. Korean
idea.
girls are kind of cute.
I have an idea. It's a funny idea,
Yep.
and it's let's send Furious Dan on a one-way trip to North Korea, and we'll call it Dan's Dastardly Adventures in Korea.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I love this idea.
Wait, how about this? How about this? Better yet, the anti-Vice tour. Because you remember how Vice would send its baristas and other people like to war zones, and they did like 2 documentaries where they went to North Korea. Oh, let's go ahead and do that. It'd be the anti-Vice tour. Like, hey, what can we do that can get us in a North Korean gulag? All right, there we go. Like we'll be up there, and then all of a sudden we become good friends with Kim Jong Un. Reading propaganda, like, yeah, screw South Korea, screw Japan, man. We got the best stuff here. What are you gonna do? Come and get us. We're the red, white, and blue. That's the color of the flag, right?
Oh, God.
Indeed. I'm sure even Dan would be up for that, because Furious Dan is a fantastic example of a viewer who can become a content creator, and I am very appreciative of fostering that kind of community within our wider network, which used to have another name, but we can't legally say it. So let me just share my screen to give folks some context here. Courtesy of X. All right, then. Let's have a look. Courtesy of Benny Johnson. Let me just full screen it on my end, because I'm as blind as a bat.
You're so young.
Legion, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you quote Benny Johnson for me?
Okay. So Benny Johnson said, I am proud to announce that Kongman Lee has just accepted a position at our growing media company. Kongman will join the team Benny immediately, making this the single shortest cancellation in modern history, about 24 hours. Kongman will work on our editorial and creative teams at Benny Media. He's a skilled editor and a sharp digital talent. We're very proud to have him join the team. Congratulations to Kongman Lee.
Now, this was over a week ago. So, when we
Yes.
first talked about this, I was going to be like, oh, we'll talk about Kangman Lee getting fired on Monday. Then we'll talk about him getting hired on Wednesday. But then Hasan electrocuted his dog. And that's
Hey,
in terms of being a topic. Yeah, I know. That was seen as a more important topic of the day. I don't know about you guys, but every time I seem to speak in this, I can hear myself speaking twice. Maybe that's just a me issue.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
hearing
know.
the echo in my ear, but I wasn't sure where it was coming from. I don't hear myself.
That's
I don't
good.
think so.
Guys, do you hear an echo in the chat? Because I don't personally. But do
Ho-
you hear an echo?
hopefully
Nobody
not.
said a thing.
Right.
Everybody
Maybe
were
so.
Right,
okay.
Hopefully not, but I do apologize.
No echo, says Logan.
Uh,
Okay, thank you. And Disgusting
Well, there
is
you go.
here.
As long as they don't hear it,
Here
that's
he
fine.
says Udri, which means hit it. And Joey says nope. And not the dog. Yes, we in Bulgaria really don't like Turkish people that hurt anyone because they hurt us a lot. So
Right.
yeah, we have kind of a lot of ideas about what can we do to Hassan, for that deed. And I have 3 dogs, so imagine what I want to do.
That's why we left this topic for last. So as long as you guys don't hear any echo watching, it's perfectly fine. It might wind up the panelists though, so don't worry, it's all right. We appreciate you all, and like the stream, share the stream, all that fun stuff. Maybe it's a StreamYard to OBS thing. I don't know because I've never used this configuration before. But what do we guys think of this? The shortest cancellation in history. I mean, the Common Nerd is a fantastic example of a success story, of a comeback story from cancellation. Why don't you tell everyone about that as an example, my good man?
Yeah. So, I mean, even early on, this is one of the things I've always talked about, why the parallel economy is so important and why it's so important to support alternative media, alternative platforms, all those kind of things. Like, even if you don't go over there and actively engage in that platform all of the time, it's always good to at least have an account somewhere else, right? And when I started out on YouTube, it was back in like 2021, I think it was, when I first created my very first channel. And I'd been on Rumble for a very long time. And I'd been on, and even before I started creating content, and back when I was doing like politics and stuff like that. And I always streamed to both platforms. And I always told everybody, I said, even if you don't go over there and use it, because I know the interface is a little rough, especially back then. It was a little rough and stuff like that, but at least go make an account, right? Because, we've seen this happen a million times. I'm at this time, I was new around the place, but we'd seen plenty of examples of guys that had their entire YouTube channels just nuked overnight. No reason, no excuse, no recourse, nothing. Just poof, all your work gone. Right. So when I first started out, and I was putting out 5-6 videos a day in some cases back in the day. I was putting all my videos on YouTube, obviously, but Rumble and Odyssey as well. I was always using those alternative platforms. And when I streamed, I would stream to all 3 of those platforms. Rumble was always generally the one that got the most action. Odyssey had a few people over there. But when I ended up being included with Ryan Cannell and Hypnotic, Ryan Kennel, I always know why I do that. Ryan Kennel and Hypnotic in a video from Director X of Robin Hood, aka Julian, who was a Hollywood director working in Canada, producing a really woke version of a really bad interpretation of the Robin Hood story. And I made a video that said, "This will fail," and that was my thumbnail. My thumbnail ended up in his little video of him having a meltdown over all of us calling him out for the fact that his show was going to fail. Guess what? We were all right. So my YouTube channel ends up getting nuked. All of a sudden, my credits, who had my buddy eating a banana, who I'd been using for 6 months, all of a sudden became sexual content. And so my entire channel got nuked within 3 days with no recourse and no way to come back. And I tried doing the Rumble thing exclusively just for a while. And you know what? To all of my, because I have a little over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have almost 1,400 followers on Rumble. This is my full-time job, and this is my primary income. Okay? I have said this a million times. My channel is a living testimony to the fact that if you believe, the Lord will provide. Because I have never missed a rent payment. I make more money than my wife, who works 40 hours a week at a daycare, right? I have to help cover her bills sometimes, and there's no reason I should be able to do this, right? But I had that backup for Rumble. And when my stuff got nuked, for next day, we were on Rumble, live streaming, letting everybody know what happened. Everybody came over. Like, those first few days were some of the most insane days I'd ever seen on Rumble. Everybody was just coming in, dropping donations left and right, sign up for new memberships, all of that kind of nonsense. And this is what we'd always prepared for. Because I had always said we have to have a parallel economy. That's why I got so excited about Eric July and the Rippaverse and all of that kind of stuff, because that's giving you somewhere to go. And who's he got now? Chuck Dixon and so many other legends that have worked for the Rippaverse. Guys that wrote some of the best runs of Batman and Deadpool and Venom and Punisher. Like, those guys work for the Rippaverse now, because you know what? They don't want to work for DC and Marvel anymore because of all the BS and because they got to be silent about stuff. And so that's the biggest thing. This right here shows that we are now at that point because we've actually been here for quite a while. We've seen cancel culture lose its power over the last few years. For one, a lot of companies just ignore people nowadays, like all the little screaming mobs that used to determine what won awards, what succeeded and what failed in the eyes of corporations and in the media. Most of these major corporations don't even listen to these folks anymore. You notice June this year, there was a whole lot less pride icons on everybody's social media this way. Why? Because that cancel culture mob that got Kangman fired, they don't have the power they once thought they did, and we should have never allowed them to. Alternative platforms like Rumble, alternative comic book companies like Rippaverse, and Benny Johnson's entertainment and mostly news media, but to a certain degree entertainment news media because he's commentary, but his news media, which gets more views than CNN or MSNBC combined on YouTube, went in and goes, no. You ain't going to fire him. You don't have that power here anymore. You don't get to decide who gets canceled and who doesn't. You don't get to decide who feeds their fucking kids and who doesn't anymore. That is over. You don't have that power. Get behind me, Satan. Your control is over. And guess what? Fuck off. Kangman Lee ain't canceled anymore. And that's what we've done. That is a sign that we are winning. We are succeeding. For the years that we were complaining and crying and hearing all of these people tell us it would never matter. Disney's parks are going to keep them afloat forever. It's their money. They'll be able to go down this woke path forever because those parks will just keep funding the money forever and ever and ever. I heard how many times they told us they don't pay attention to you. They don't listen to you. Oh, yeah? Hollywood knows who the critical drinker is. They asked Gary about him. Okay? That Park Place is followed by Disney executives. We know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. So fuck you forever saying the fans' voices didn't matter because we brought Hollywood and the woke culture to its knees. We lost them billions of dollars between gaming and news and media. And now they are realizing they don't have that power anymore. And we've talked about it before with Dignified Cartoon Gentlemen that's why we saw what happened with Charlie. Because he was a threat, and they're lashing out because they know they're losing now. And that's the beautiful part. This story is a glorious, beautiful miracle of showing you how far we've come and how much power they have lost.
There's
I'm
also
totally
another aspect
inviting
to
you
it.
to my superhero channel.
There's
Totally
another
inviting you
aspect
to
to
the superhero channel. Just so you know, you're gonna be
there's
honorable guest. We're gonna talk superheroes.
Anytime.
yeah.
And
There
40K.
is.
Anytime.
Hey, totally inviting you to
Yes,
40K
yes.
channel.
We have 40K stuff I want to talk about when we
Great,
wrap
great.
up.
No,
before
no,
we
I,
wrap
I
up.
want to talk about 40K stuff here too. All right, I love Warhammer 40K. I
Yeah,
mean, it was
Kit
the
also.
Emperor, and yes, hey, it's Semper Fi. Hey, I'm a former Marine, and Star
Hey,
of
my
heart.
favorite jar. I love jarheads. I'm an Air Force guy. I'm a Air
Oh,
Force.
okay, great.
I
great.
love
We
a
got
good
a lot
jarhead.
here. But there's
I went to
some-
tech school with you.
Oh,
Tech
no,
school, guys.
I was over there in I'm a Hollywood Marine, so there you go. Hollywood.
Oh,
See,
no.
I was
Hey,
in
hey,
Pensacola at the Navy base. I was in Pensacola at the Navy base
Okay.
with a whole bunch of the Marines and
All right,
Navy
no.
chicks.
See now, I went to Hollywood, and here's the thing: I got nothing but love for my brothers and sisters. Actually, most of my brothers, because they don't, it's over there in
They don't
Paris
do the
Island.
girls over there.
Yeah. So over there is Paris Island, right? But hey, psychological warfare over there in boot camp in California, because when you see Air Tahiti and Air Hawaii flying over your head, you're wishing to God you're on that airplane. But nonetheless, there's another aspect that we want to look into. So 2015, we could argue, I mean, again, not argue, but we could regularly say that was the beginning of the start of the, I guess, beginning of cancel culture, the beginning of the whole shift in phase that's happening for the past 9 years. Okay, so we could say like from 2015 maybe to 2024, the high point of when all of this was going down. And the worst thing you could ever do when you're trying to control a narrative or when you are trying to maintain a full monopoly is when you win the culture war, or at least make the aspect looking like you do win, when you have all of the power. Because when you have all the power, remember the words from the Prince and the Discourses, actually, from Machiavelli himself, a fellow Italian. Machiavelli, I'm going to quote my inner Paulie Walnuts here, okay? Machiavelli, he's the Sun Tzu in Italy. It's either you are loved, hated or feared. Now, if you're loved, hey, people love you, right? But that means, if you're not feared, they're not going to respect you. If you're feared, they will show love, but they will respect and fear what you can do. If you're hated, oh, then everyone's going to want your throat. And that's the problem with Hollywood, is that when you control a narrative, no matter where you stand politically or socially, when you control a narrative and you're disrespecting intellectual properties, when you're creating slop that doesn't entertain the mind, because that's what movies and television, comic books, and video games are all about. It's about entertainment and challenging people to be better, but also bringing in the need for the next generation to like said intellectual property. And when you say that people don't matter, or that a movie sucks, and people are saying that it sucks, and you're going to make more of that slop, you will build resentment, because it's like, okay, well, wait, I gave you an opinion, constructive criticism, and then we get hated for it. And when people do give constructive criticism, and I've seen this happen to people on the left, on the right, in the center, when they've given very milquetoast, saying like, well, I didn't like this movie or book or game because of X, Y, and Z. I saw so many people lose their livelihoods, get canceled, get censored and suppressed. I have dealt with the censorship and suppression. I have seen it happen to a lot of people I respect who are far larger than me deal with it. I've lost friends because of it. I've seen families fall apart because of it. And the thing about Hollywood is that it is the monolith right now, currently in this country, that dictates, at least dictates like, what is the overall pulse, what people are feeling. And it's right now in a very dangerous spot where it's deep in the red. And this, first of all, I know some people who have done the work on like, not actors and actresses or directors. I don't know anybody like that, but I know people who make the machines work, right? And because Hollywood's in this spot, because they are going under, there's going to be a lot of people that are losing their livelihood because of decisions made 8 years ago that could have been avoided. Because when you want to control things or tell people this is how things are and you cannot challenge it, you open full rebellion. And in turn, that's why we're seeing this. And then, mark my words, if Hollywood continues to go down this toilet in regards towards not listening to people, and they still got financial problems, there will be a second renaissance, which means it will go back to what it once was in the way 1900s. But anyways, there used to be numerous places all across this country that were Hollywood-like. Okay, Hollywood in California became the big guy because that's where everyone is centered. There will be other areas of entertainment and of social media in which people will be creative, because these controls, these monopolies that Hollywood has had over for so long are falling apart because they can't stay afloat. People are changing in regards to how they view things. And not to mention, people aren't afraid anymore. And when it comes down to cancel culture, is it falling apart? Is it ending? Yes, it is. It's still there because there are, let's face it, there are some bad people out there, but they will cancel themselves. And, that happens. No one can do you in like you could do yourself in. But in regards to cancel culture itself, it's now become ridiculed, because if there's a channel that you don't like, if there's a show you don't like, you can be an adult. I'm 40 years old. If there's something I don't like, I'm going to walk away from it. If there's somebody whose opinion I don't want to engage with, well, then guess what? I'm not going to engage with it. You really got me. You have to get me fired up to say like, okay, well, I don't like you because of X, Y, and Z, but you got to be a particular kind of evil for me to do that. And so to the whole thing, to just add what you were saying, is this the end of it? Yeah, because when you ignore fans and people who pay money, the key word, 5-letter word is money, for intellectual properties like Star Wars, Star Trek, when the people are gone, you got nothing. And I've never seen, just to add on here, was Disney. I've never seen them turn a golden goose that was making golden eggs to have a shit goose that's making shit.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong? Unless there's something I'm missing.
Well, it's one of them situations backing that up. Like, I brought this up a million times, and because I've done the math, they have taken Star Wars. They spent what, 1.5, 2 billion buying it, right? From George, something along those lines. 4.5, is it that much? Okay.
I don't know the money.
Either way, it was a few billion. It was a few $1 billion, right? They spent a few $1 billion buying it from George, right? They have effectively turned what was arguably the most profitable entertainment franchise in history, into nothing more than a $30 billion disastrous dumpster fire. They have dumped, by my very rough estimates, they have dumped at least $30 billion into Star Wars since they've acquired it, and it's not been profitable since they acquired it. None of their movies were profitable. The Rise of Palpatine cost $650 million to make. So even though it made $1 billion, that
Whoa.
movie still lost money. Yeah, I love the UK's tax documents.
I did not know it made it that it cost that much to make it.
Yep.
Yeah.
UK tax filings, baby. So like they and all their toys, you go to an Ollie's. Look, go to your local Walmart and see how much smaller the Star Wars section is from when you were a kid. Go to Ollie's, their Star Wars and Marvel section is literally an entire row.
You know,
And that's just a discount store. They're all end up at the discount bin.
And here's the thing. Like, look, the extended universe, right? Because that was the old stuff, right? With
expanded universe. Expanded universe.
Expanded universe. My bad. Sorry. I'm a Warhammer 40K fan, folks. I mean, like, again, I know about the expanded universe, and the thing is you know, it could, and mind you, there's some stories that are great, and there are some stories that are crap. But I do know this, that if Disney had paid the royalties, which would not have been a whole lot, they would have been crapping out great stories for we would not be having this conversation. We would not, I don't think we would be here, because I saw one mad dog crazy genius, and no offense to the artist, who made a recreation of the Admiral Thrawn series. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but somebody who's far more talented than I ever will be did that. And I'm like, wow, you did a better Thrawn series than what was posted on Disney. You magnificent mad dog killer type. How did you pull that off? And the thing is, that's a YouTube channel. I've seen, for example, another thing too, we have fans quoting like how great the expanded universe is, because there's a thing called character development, stories, progression. You don't see your favorite characters then just dying off in the background. I mean, we will never have Han Solo, Luke, or Leia ever on the same screen ever again together.
Nope.
Think about that opportunity lost.
Oh
Well,
yeah, we thought about it
so
when it
sad, like-
happened a lot, and we can't do anything about it. It was just pitiful.
And if I could add one other thing here too, I don't mean to take the floor too much. I'm sorry, guys. If I talk too much, just shut up. But you know, I always like looking at the Disney universe now, and after what happened in the new Star Wars sequels, like a part of me, I know this is going to sound evil, but I find myself agreeing with Palpatine. Like, yeah, the Republic sucked. Okay, Palpatine, you know what? You were the hero and protagonist. If this is the main canon line, you were the hero of the Star Wars story the whole time. Because you know what? If this is what the Republic has led to, you know what? Forget it. Luke Skywalker's a terrorist. He blew up the
Just
Death
fry
Star.
everyone with his lighting, and let's be done with it.
Yeah,
Right.
hey,
Long
green
live the
energy.
New Republic.
Green
Okay.
energy.
I mean-
Palpatine was green energy, man. He was making electricity. You know, it was an energy program. The Death Star was a construction project. The Death Star 2 was a construction project. What happened to all those union and labor guys?
Well, here's the
Before
$1 million
union
question.
workers.
I actually was very
$30
excited
billion
and
question.
$30 billion question. I was really excited when Disney actually took over Star Wars, because I was a big fan of Disney at the time. Like, they were making some of my favorite movies. I was a big fan of the MCU. The Infinity Saga, that's where it ended. That's all there is the Infinity Saga. Might be a couple of spotted movies like No Way Home and, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine that I'll consider, you know, being a part of it. But other than that, it's crap. How did you take the expanded universe and go, nope, it's all decanonized.
Kathleen
We don't.
Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Ye-
And
Yeah.
you took and threw away probably the best story arc, rivaling the original trilogy in Knights of the Old Republic. That is celebrated by Star Wars fans through and through for decades now. And quite frankly, you could have taken each individual, the first game, the second game, and then what should have been the third game, and you could have made 3 movies out of each one of them. You have 9 movies right there. There's another whole, you know, literally sequence of movies that you're printing money. And you couldn't even do that because you wanted to do a remake, not a remaster of Knights of the Old Republic, and you wanted to take the main character and you wanted to canonically change that character for your bullshit ideology, even though it's said in the lore that the character is a certain way for a certain reason, and then the second movie you can actually have your diversity that you supposedly want because the character from the second game is female. It's not hard, guys. Like, literally, you could have just followed the timestamps, and it's like they're so fucking retarded. They can't even do that.
because they
Yeah, they
Well,
assume
can
it's
do
people they
it's
anything. I
it's
mean, it doesn't matter. What is
it's
quality even? I have no idea if Disney can comprehend this anymore. Just
No.
ideology first, storytelling second, and it should
yeah
be the
it's
Uh,
opposite, but
can,
they
can,
can't.
it's all
ego
about
cancel.
and
money. It's all about
narcissism.
money. It's all about money. And it's all about assuming that people just shut up and consume product and wait for more product to come out. When they
Mm.
could have been printing the money for so long. And with the MCU, they should have ended with the Infinity series. Sort of like, yeah, again, I'm a fan of Hell's Kitchen. When Seth Ramsey says, let the steak rest, let the series rest, and do James Bond. Hire a new Black Panther. May the original actor rest in peace. Hire a new Captain America and Tony Stark. You could be like, oh wow, it's like the next James Bond. Like, who was the better Iron Man? Who was the better Captain America? That kind of stuff. Who was the better Black Panther? Who was the better this? You could have kept on telling these stories, and now we introduce the new MCU. You got a whole bunch of jabronis. I don't care who these people are.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
essentially,
I will
I mean,
absolutely.
say, cancel culture shouldn't collapse, folks. In fact, cancel culture should be for the copious corporations that are ruining some of the greatest stories told in the modern era. That's the place cancel culture should have. They shouldn't be
Well, and it's
firing people for condemning other people celebrating someone's murder. Okay?
they're getting
You're in and
exactly what
out
they
again.
deserve.
You're in and out
Out
again.
Hmm.
Oh no, I didn't think it was too
out of what? A closet?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
your microphone. Yeah,
Okay,
you're.
boy.
Microphone
Hey.
in and out, in and out.
You know what I'm going
Ryan
to
knows
do,
those
folks? I'm
very
going to
well.
jack up my volume and
Yeah.
tell you guys this, right? I'm jacking up my volume. I'm
Giggity.
going to replace my damn computer with my old one. You guys shoot the shit, for lack of a better term. Then we'll get this train back on the tracks. I have confidence in every one of you people. Black Lives Matter. I'll be right back.
All
And
right.
it's it's well,
Okay, guys.
it
That's interesting topic that we got ourselves into. Star Wars, Disney. It's usually what happens between me and Kit when we have our own streams, right, Kit?
mm,
I mean,
yeah.
we just talk about somehow Warhammer and then Star Wars and how everything is ruined. So we're like in a perpetual everything is ruined mode. But
well, and
yeah,
I
guys.
I do have a question.
Twitch.
'Cause I'm not a big Warhammer fan. I don't know much about it, so I can't really be a fan. I'd be interested to find out, especially because Henry Cavill's supposed to be doing that series on Amazon. What are you guys thinking about that? Have you guys been hearing good things? Because after the Witcher debacle, and I liked Henry Cavill in the Witcher role, I didn't really like the series as a whole. The first season I thought was pretty decent, but what do you think? Like, you think Henry Cavill's going to be kind of neutered again, like he
Oh,
has been multiple times, because he
No,
actually gives a shit?
Nope.
I think,
well,
I
Nope.
think, I think when it
according
comes,
to
go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, according to what I know so far, and last year he obviously was very excited. He went out of some kind of a shop or Warhammer store in England and he shot his face and he was like, everything's fine. We got the approval on the project. Everything is a go. And then we heard some bits and pieces that he is trying to put together a very cohesive world, so to speak. They were discussing how to bring Warhammer to life. I mean, everything that I heard so far has to do with how to present such a huge universe to the world in the best way possible. And he's at the helm of that. And whatever they talked about, it seems like he had to approve for sure because he's the head of this project. And he will not do Warhammer 40k if he is not, well, the head of the project, if he does not agree with what they're doing. So I personally believe in Henry Cavill literally because based on what we
Hmm.
saw before, if he is not in agreement with what the showrunners are doing, he's not gonna be there. He's gonna quit. He's not gonna compromise his integrity and love for the particular lore, whatever it is. And Warhammer is like his favorite thing. I mean, The Witcher is one of the most favorite thing for him, but Warhammer is even more favorite. It's like the top thing. So the last thing that I've heard is that he is trying to literally whatever they do, because they can do movies, they can do TV shows. They're trying to cohesively somehow bring the universe to life, because Warhammer can be extremely confusing if you don't know anything. It's not just like Star Wars when it has a beginning and an end. It does have
Yeah.
technically a beginning, but it's like thousands upon thousands of years of lore.
Millions, billions of
Yeah,
years.
millions of years.
Yeah, I mean,
Billions.
Yeah.
it's
Technically billions.
40K,
We're
so that
shooting
means
too low.
40,000,
Yeah.
basically. 40,000 from the recorded history. It's like our Earth is the equivalent of our Earth, and they have to explain how the universe started with godlike beings, quote unquote, not really, but in the material realm, there's a material realm. They were very strong. They were called the Old Ones. They fought the Catan, that were like material gods, and other races that the Old Ones created. It's a lot.
Yeah,
And
it's a
then
lot.
we get to
Complicated.
humanity, and then we get to the birth of the Emperor. What is he?
Mhm.
There's some new lore about that, and then how we united Earth and all the human colonies, and then we get to the Horus Heresy, which is the betrayal of the Emperor. And that is so long. That's such a long story. Just the Horus Heresy. It has like 70 books by this point. So
Yep.
it has to be someone that really knows the lore, that's really passionate about it, to be like, oh my gosh, what to do? I have to know what to do, because otherwise we're gonna fail. This is so important to get right. So that is why also it takes so much time. And last year there was a lot of scandals, basically, because some prominent YouTubers said that, oh no, this is totally gonna be ruined. I know for sure, this is not gonna happen. And then Mr. H reviews comes out, and he's like, no, I have a person on the inside. They're totally saying the
Yeah.
opposite, that this is going forward and it's gonna happen. And then like maybe 2 weeks later, we have Henry Cavill, and he's like, yes, this is going to happen, guys. This is real. So that was just very, very awesome. So my stance is, I believe in Henry Cavill, and we will see what's gonna happen. Hopefully everything is true to the lore. Amazon did had one animation that was a part of anthology series, and it was pretty
It was
damn
good.
good and super
Yes.
badass. So yeah.
Absolutely. God willing, it
Sure.
was. I just add a little bit onto this because I'm a
Oh.
Warhammer 40K fan, and hey, Henry Cavill, the off chance, hey, hire me and Jared. We're ready. Hire us. We would love to be Imperial Guardsmen facing off against some sort of demon or something like that. But when you look at Warhammer 40K and what it represents, I mean, Ryan, you asked about it, getting involved in it. Dip your toes into it. There is no such thing as a main protagonist or anything like that, but there are people who would like to control the Warhammer 40K lore and change things, which is a dumb thing to do because there is lore and sometimes things do change in it, but there's a set rule, which is always great because hold on, for those who know 40K on the panel, if Disney really had its way with Warhammer 40K, in my hand right here, yes, imagine this being an Imperial fist. And this other hand is an Iron Warrior. Hey, guys, how come these two can't be friends? That's what Disney would do. How come these two can't be friends? Well, there's a long reason why they can't be friends, for many reasons, in more ways than one.
Please don't.
Well, and
Go
from
ahead. Sorry.
From a business perspective too, you have to look at some of the things some of the changes that have happened behind the scenes at Amazon MGM Prime. Because I'm with Empress. I was 40K Henry Cavill, like 100% faith in him. He'd walk if it was going to be garbage kind of situation, right? But Bezos has recently fired Jennifer Salke, which she was the Wicked Witch of the West over there at MGM. She was the one responsible for Wheel of. Oh, she is. She's out.
Yep.
I did the videos over that. I was dancing. I've done. Actually, I think I did several videos over that. She was responsible for Rings of Power and Wheel of Time, plus a bunch of other crap. Vernon Sanders was her right-hand man, and they just announced a week ago that his ass is on the way out the door as well. So they're slowly getting all of the cancer that was responsible for a lot of those abominations, because Jennifer Salke got fired because she fucked up the Bond thing. That was like the last straw with Bezos for that. So a lot of those activists that are responsible for fucking up like Rings of Power and Wheel of Time, the people that were in charge of those people and hired all of those people are gone. Jennifer Salke, I think, cost just in 2024 alone, spent $20 billion of Jeff Bezos's money and produced almost next to nothing and nothing successful.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Wait,
that's
can I-
horrible,
can-
Yeah.
man.
I got to give a name drop. First of all, Valkyrie Down Project.
Yes, I was
myself,
going to.
40K Empress, voice acted in this project. I want to say to them, everyone, please follow and subscribe to his channel. But also, more importantly, I want to say this to you: your work saved my life last year and has given me so much hope. So thank you for letting me be part of that project. From everyone that's been part of it. You guys have been doing some great work, all of you.
Oh, thank
Well,
you as well, Valkyrie Down. Yeah, go follow him. So he does like kind of like an animation. It's a audio audio novel, audio drama. I'm voicing the
Love
main
it.
female character who is a sister of battle, and the third episode is going to come out soon as possible. He has some issues, but as soon as he can, third episode, and then the fourth, I'm gonna be more from the fourth episode on. So it's pretty amazing to be a part of that and actually be an actress. And Kit, you're an actor.
I know, I know. I've done. I gotta say, it's Valkyrie Project Down. You did save my life. Thank you.
well,
Amazing.
now that I'm back, hopefully you can all hear me, and hopefully there are no problems,
Sounds good.
because
Digny.
folks, let me tell you this: I hate my main computer with a passion. Welcome back. It's great to be here, Digny. Yes, all that fun stuff. It's nice to see that we had a solid panel holding things down. But if they do it too well, then what's the point of me being here? It's very dangerous. Can't have you doing too. You can't have. You guys can't have good talks about the things you want to think about. What about me? What about my timestamps?
You sound
Yes.
just like, you know
Yes,
what,
go ahead,
Digny? I think
please.
you'd get hired by Kathleen Kennedy next week with that kind of attitude. Me,
times-
me.
Oh
And
dear.
timestamps, it just reminds me of somebody I used to know. I don't know.
I know.
Can't put my finger on
know.
it.
Well, he's gone now, but I appreciate his guidance. My mentor, a great guy. But it just goes to show, folks, that the power is in your hands. Power to the people. And if cancel culture should exist, it should be of the people, by the people, for the people, against egregious establishments, be they governmental or corporate. And there's a little spider on my camera. I just managed to get it. I now have it dangling on my hand. Tiny little thing. I'll just throw it away.
Again,
But,
like, yeah, because we talk about cancel culture, like, there are people who should go. I don't want to utter their names, but you have that scumbag criminal nuisance streamer Johnny Somali. I know Legal Mindset's been, and all of them have
Yep.
they pretty much dragged him around. But people like that cause problems for people like us.
Yes.
Okay, who
Okay.
want to do real good content creation. Because if I want
Right.
to go overseas in Japan or South Korea or wherever the hell, I want to at least pull out my camera and not, oh, what are you gonna do? Some American's gonna do something stupid or harassing person like
Yes.
what Vitelli did in the Philippines during the election season?
Well, it's
Jeez.
like I went to Vegas a couple of years ago for the FNT meetup, and my supporters paid for my trip, right? So I'm like live streaming or I'm like vlogging the entire time, and I feel like such a douchebag vlogging because of all of the douchebags that are assholes when they vlog and they're not respectful to other people and they're not respectful of their surroundings. And they give the rest of us a bad name. But the nice part about it is you don't have to. Cancel culture is something that comes from the top down, right? That's an authority saying that. That's Hollywood saying that. That's the media saying that. That's the government saying that in some cases. What we're seeing is people actually
Joe
dealing
Biden.
with dealing with the actual legitimate consequences of their actions. Because guess what? You piss off a good segment of the population, your game's going to flop. You piss off a good portion of your audience, you're going to lose your audience and you're going to lose your job. You know what I mean? So you idiots out here want to keep acting like this Johnny Somali facing criminal charges in Korea. A good possibility he might go to jail.
Good
You know what I mean?
No, homie is going to jail. That guy is going.
So
There's
it's
no
like-
way. There's no
Like
way.
we don't need some mass organized campaign like they did to cancel somebody. We just sit back and laugh at them and just point out the truth of what they're doing. And that's all we have to do. We tell the truth and everything else handles itself.
Well, speaking of cancel culture, how long have we been going on this topic? I don't know. It could be half an hour. It could be 50 minutes.
Yeah,
but
we might need to move on.
But no. Speaking of cancel culture, we could talk about someone who really deserves it, but I don't know what time we're on, so I can't write down the timestamp. How long have we been live?
Now
An
for
hour?
75
1 hour
minutes.
and 15 minutes.
Yep.
Right.
There
Okay,
you
I'll
go.
write that down.
And 39 seconds.
and 39 seconds. You better be right about that, or I'm nailing your head to a wall.
Yeah, we are.
But
You're gonna have to come to the United
Wouldn't
States,
be
man. Like,
Uh,
we're
Wouldn't
getting
be
the
the first
passport out.
time Ryan's head's been bashed into a wall by another guy.
oh damn! But the
Not gonna say
second
why.
topic, I thought we should really talk about this now while we have time, because we like to keep the show at around 2 hours. Speaking of someone who deserves cancel culture, Hasan plays damage control as
Oh,
Piker caught using shock collar on dog. And folks, I'm going to let the 40k Empress lead the way on this. She is a dog owner. She's also Bulgarian. Hasan is a dog abuser, and he's also Turkish. So this should be interesting. Take it away.
Hmm. Okay. So are you going to put it on screen or probably not? You're not gonna do this, right?
Well, you speak your piece, then I'll share a clip, then we'll get panel perspective. How
All
about that?
right. Okay. So of course, I mean, the first thing is that in general this is a problem because that dog doesn't doesn't do anything for hours, which is horrible for dogs. That's the first thing. And now he electrocuted, and there's another clip that I heard about that I don't want to watch, but well, basically he threatened to kill the dog for real. That's what he said in the video. So of course that is one of the most horrible things that the human can do to a living creature. And dogs can feel a lot of our emotions, and the dog made the sound, the whimpering, which is horrible. I mean, dogs do that only when they're in real pain, and I just can't stand that. I mean, I can't even talk about this without feeling completely, well, I don't know even how to describe it. I just feel horrible inside because I can't even imagine
Mhm.
something happening to a dog. That's how I feel. And there's so many tragedies. Sorry, they can't talk. Tragedies that are going down here in Bulgaria as well. And when I hear something like that, like a guy that's
Mhm.
proven to be evil and wanting violence in real life, and now he's hurting a freaking dog, that dog has to be taken away from him. Where is
Oh yeah.
the zoo police or whatever it's called in
No,
America? Somebody else that really cares about
no, that's
dogs.
ICE, Empress. The
That's
zoo police are ICE. Yeah.
aha, okay, ice. So they have
Yeah.
to take the dog. That dog is very big, which means it needs even more exercise, even more walking. I don't know how old it is, but it needs a lot of love, a lot of walking, and it can't just sit there for 4 hours. Okay, has to be like out at least 4 times a day. At least that's what I do, 4 times a day, and make sure the dogs have enough of a social life and enough of physical activity, the best food
Mhm.
that I research since I have dogs, all raw food that's perfectly mixed together for dogs. Everything that I need to know about their health, I do. So this is unimaginable. I can't even comprehend it.
Empress is very pro dog, folks. Unlike Hassan Hussein, who is very anti dog, and this is courtesy of Tectone. Tectone doesn't really like Hassan very much,
For many
folks.
reasons.
Yeah, for many reasons. Now, you could argue, oh, this isn't an unbiased news source. I'm a cartoon. If you're using a cartoon as a news source, what the hell are you doing here? Not CNN. I'm not the Cartoon News Network. Okay? Damn. But courtesy of Tectone, quote, Hassan, quote, I don't give a shit if the dog is in pain and can't breathe. It's a dog, but you cared enough when it was George Floyd. Fuck this man's entire existence. So yes, this is the 18-second clip, folks. There is a longer clip, of course, but I have the preference of getting panel perspectives over watching long clips. That's just me, though. So let's make it big. Let's make it bigger. There
Oh
he is.
boy.
There's Hassan. There's his very clean champagne get up volume. There we go.
Oh
Play
God.
clip.
Just such a lib ass, like, oh, dude, please don't get a Frenchie. I just wrote a Vox article talking about how problematic they are. Like, I don't give a fuck. I know they have breathing problems. I know they're incredibly fucking inbred. I don't give a shit. I know. I know.
Okay, that's
I don't
super
care.
effed up.
Like, I don't give a shit. This is a dog. just so
See, he's very anti-dog. I mean, even his attitude towards getting a small French bulldog, folks. It's not an attitude of a proper dog owner. It just isn't.
It just isn't. But yeah, I mean, I have to explain something about dog breeding. Sorry, I'm really emotional about this. Dog breeding. The breeding
Hmm.
of dogs. Okay, so if dogs are inbred, of course, that can create horrible consequences, just like in humans, when there's incest. So it's absolutely a no-no. You should never do it. There has to be principles of good dog breeding, and I know a lot about that because I have a corgi that's a champion now. So the best genes that could be combined should be, and you can have a lot of gaps. I mean, you can like breed second, third, fifth cousins, that's fine, but you can't, of course, breed brothers and sisters and all of that. So it's a whole science of how you should breed dogs for their health, and that helps, of course, the future dog owners. That helps the
Hmm.
breed and the generations after it. Like if you look at Queen's Elizabeth corgis at the beginning, they did not look like they do today because the corgis are actually one of the purest breeds in the world. But unlike some other breeds, like the German Shepherds, which are screwed because their back is, sinked down, which is horrible, Corgis actually improved for the most part. They have beautiful coat and all of that, which they didn't have before. They're just more fluffy, but they're still purebred corgis. So it's super
Hmm.
important how you do that because it cares about the animals. I mean, the breed and the dogs in general. They live longer. They don't have joint issues. It's just essential. So what he said there means that he doesn't know anything about dogs and he doesn't respect dogs in general. I doubt that he respects anything or anyone besides himself. And if you're not human, if we don't qualify for, I mean, he's not qualifying for a human at all. But I mean, what makes us human and to respect and love animals because we are above them. We're supposed to be the ones that take care of them. They can't take care of themselves. We have to be responsible, and we are responsible for them. We have to do our best for them and nothing less because otherwise we don't deserve them. They're amazing. They save people in crisis when you have mental health issues, when you have even physical issues, depending on the dog. They're amazing. If you haven't had a dog, you don't know how precious they are. They're smart, they do amazing things. So, yeah, I really have no words.
Yeah.
So when Hassan becomes a parent with his multiple wives, he's going to put shock collars on all of his wives and all of his kids. Because if he does not get cancelled for this, folks, he will start electrocuting his followers. I'm not even kidding.
Can,
He
can I?
is
Can I?
that kind of person.
All
I'm not
right.
kidding.
When,
So,
when, when,
so
Just
go
made
ahead,
it
here,
funny.
here's
go ahead.
here's the ridiculous part about this is that of course I actually agree with this because Hassan Piker is actually a rapid narcissist who doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself.
Mm.
So for him to care about an animal, he's going to consider it to be lower than him, especially the way he treated that dog and just didn't give a shit. So anyway, the thing is that Alinity. Now look, I'm not a fan of her either. I give crap. She threw her cat over her shoulder, right? She
Yep.
kind of like tossed it over her shoulder. She got nuked on her channel for like what, a week, a couple days or
Mm,
something like that. She had her
mm.
channel basically saying, okay, look, you can't live stream because what you did was heinous, and the backlash from people who watched it, and it made the rounds on the internet, it made the rounds on Twitter. This guy seems to be able to do stuff over and over and over again that even if look, and again, if you want to talk about the girls who let their boobs slip on Twitch, like they get
Ooh.
banned for a couple of days too. This guy continues to do stuff that is absolutely heinous, and quite frankly, Twitch just goes, "Hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" Like, it's like, no, dude, like you need to do something. Get this guy the fuck out of here. Like, he is a
Well,
rapid piece
well,
of shit. He was talking about the streets running red with
mhm.
certain peoples who have different ideologies and beliefs than him,
Yeah.
and he didn't give a crap about a political assassination that happened recently. He is a vile, disgusting human being, and quite frankly, I mean, I know money talks, but it's like, who's
Well,
really going to marry this guy?
Twitch is such an unhinged platform, folks,
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
referenced this on Wednesday. Twitch is such an unhinged platform that a Twitch streamer live streamed her home pregnancy, and the
Mm-hmm.
CEO of Twitch
Was in the
Not
comments.
only did he promote it, but endorse it by wishing her every luck and success. Yes, Common Nerd.
So on that one, I will just have to say, as a guy who has 6 kids and knows the fact that the Western civilization is facing a population crisis right now, if that's a trend that gets started and it just ends up a bunch of these content creators have babies now just because this is trendy and they want to get recognition from the Twitch CEO, I'm totally good with that. The more babies, the better, dude. So I don't care. I'm
Take
good
that
with
back.
that.
You're gonna cause more problems. You might cause
This
more
is
problems.
way, hey, no. This is way better than the Tide Pod trend. Okay, this could actually benefit society.
Debatable. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm
Because
kind of.
stupid people going out because eating the Tide Pod. Maybe that's
Hey,
society.
I mean, all right, fair, but nonetheless, I'd still rather have the stupid people here and a bunch of brand new babies. But I'm just saying,
I mean, I get
this
that.
one would be more beneficial. This one would be more beneficial. So I'm kind of okay with that one.
I'm just kind of called back to the Tylenol stuff that happened just like a week and a half ago. Like
my
it's like all
God,
these.
that's so
What did I
dumb.
miss on
I'm just
that?
saying.
Don't.
That's so dumb.
But see,
I never seen such a stupid thing. My mom
Mm.
works at the hospital. I wanted to call her and say, Mom, do you know what they do in America? They're popping Tylenol when they're pregnant on purpose. And my mom was going to be like,
Oh yeah, that shit.
What's
Yeah,
what?
Well, I mean, this is the same group of people who like ate abortion pills on the Supreme Court like steps.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not dealing with the best and the brightest, the most
No.
rational and the most sane folks out there, and definitely not even close to anywhere moral folks. So kind of like the Todd Pod thing all over again.
When you look at Hassan, though,
Yeah.
the issue about him, and this is a concern for us, everybody, no matter whether you politically stand, left, center, right. Okay, the things that he's been able to get away with. If anybody here even did a fraction of what he has done, you are not coming back on any platform. You are going to be vilified. He has that favoritism. Now, on the one hand, we got to look at how he got started through TYT, Cenk Uygur, his uncle, let him on in. Now, of course, he does, he was able to hang out at a Diddy party, which is a couple of red flags there, too. I don't want to say too much. I want to be very careful how I say this, so I'm going to walk on eggshells. But Hassan did make some statements about a Democratic House representative and a sitting U.S. Republican senator saying that, well, something needs to happen, X, Y, and Z. All right, to them. I think we know, again, going to wink, wink, nod, nod. If I have to break it down any simpler, I'm sorry, but don't want anyone to get canceled here or censored or anything of that nature. But there are a lot of unhinged people on the internet. There's a lot of mentally ill people on the internet. When they hear that, it's like, oh, okay, George, I'll do it, Bobby. I like that idea a lot. And there's a lot of unhinged people, left, right. There's a lot of unhinged people. And the thing is, he's been able to say these things and get away with it. And I could have a difference with. I have libertarian friends, conservative friends, communist friends. I got a lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people. But I don't wish ill on them nor harm to anyone. But when you have a platform and you have all the figgy pudding and the algorithm and rhyme favoring you, your voice is going to matter and people will hear it, which is why later on in Congress, the CEOs of Twitch, Discord, Reddit are going to be sitting before and explaining these actions, especially Dan Clancy, who has to answer to Amazon. Amazon bought Twitch for $1 billion. That was in 2014. Amazon has not made a profit, and Amazon has not made a profit off of Twitch in such a long time. So I don't know where Hassan is getting all this privilege and ability to talk the way he's done, and also having a dog getting shocked. Now, will he get canceled? Maybe for a day or two, maybe for a week, but then he comes right on back and does something else. And I'm all for free speech, but when you start doing things where where anybody else gets the jackboot on their neck, I'm sorry, but something's wrong here. I mean, who does Hassan know? Or either that, does Dan Clancy have a lot of push and pull at Amazon? Because if I was involved with Amazon, if I was one of the shareholders, let's say I was Jeff Bezos, how much money is Twitch making us? Because he's a shareholder. He's not the CEO of Amazon anymore. So he has more of a privileged position. Nothing gets done without him. I'd be wondering, okay, well, what's Twitch offering us? Because what we could be looking at, if people want to use their brain power or enough, is that a fall of an online streaming platform. Now, do I think Twitch will go extinct? No. But what Hassan has done isn't helping it. And any group that he's trying to help out, never forget, he had somebody run up to him and say, "No, Amazon, Hassan, boycott, disinvest," because he was going to get like a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi. And he doesn't follow through with it, which makes me wonder, Anything that he says, does he believe in it? Allegedly, anything that he promotes, does he care about it? And this dog getting shocked now. I mean, I'm not a dog owner, but next door there's this beautiful guard dog, likes to run around, bark, 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 bark. And when it's outside, boy, is it so docile. The owner loves it, all right? But when you have a dog getting shocked, it's like, oh, everyone sees like, why'd you do that? And it's in one spot for 4 hours. I don't know anything about owning a dog, but a dog can't do that.
Well, and this raises a bigger concern too, because it's not just about Twitch and its terms of service and everything like that. It's actually alluding to actual criminal charges at this point. So in the state of California, depending on the severity of the incident, it's a misdemeanor up to a felony, depending on where they want to charge you. I would say probably this indication, it's going to be a misdemeanor up to 1 year in jail and a $20,000 fine. These are something that needs to be investigated by the actual police, because he showed malice intent to hurt that animal on stream because it was annoying him. So quite frankly, this is something that the evidence is all there, plain as day for anybody to see. The clips are making the rounds, and whatever department is in his vicinity needs to investigate it, because they need to seriously consider charging him.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh, I pray
But they're
to
not going to
God.
do it. They're,
I mean,
they're not
I
going to
pray
do it. They're
No,
not
not
gonna
in
do it.
California. No, absolutely
No.
not, because California's a crap hole.
Yeah.
No, California won't do it. And the thing is, he's always gotten away with it. But there comes a point to where, all right, what happens to the rest of us as this content creator? Because the thing is, there are people who get away with it, and then there are the rules and regulations put on the rest of us. I'm pretty sure all of you have noticed that YouTube has been suppressing your views, or either that your audience is saying, hey, I'm not being notified when you go live or upload content.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been subscribed to you for so long. Why am I unsubscribed? I want to be clear on this. None of us content creators on YouTube have the power to unsubscribe somebody. We could block somebody if they're being a real, jerk. But the one
Yeah,
thing
so they
every
can
content
comment.
creator wants is for you to hit the ring bell notification, like, comment, share our videos on social media, all that jazz. We don't have that power. We want you guys to know when we go live, but yet, people aren't going live. People are not being notified. So many, it's not just dead internet theory. It's more of suppressed internet. And it's not suppressed internet theory. It's a suppressed internet fact that people aren't being notified. And the thing is, other people then get the traffic of all their content to where they're on top. And Simon's got that nice little position on top. But it's more of everything that he does, we get more rules put on us, which is unfair because it's a double standard.
And thank you to Man of Culture for a €2 banger, saying first donation ? Let's go, guys. Empress needs us. And with all of your support, folks, as part of the wider network we're building, we can help make the 40K Empress and Hell's Over at Disgusting Bulgaria's most super chatted channels, which will look very good when we make propaganda encouraging more people to join our network, because it's all about narratives these days, folks, and a thrilling narrative will bring people in. You want to tell people the truth. Of course, we all want to tell people the truth, but I've found that the more you tell people the truth, the more likely they'll try to destroy you. So build a strong narrative with truth as the focus. And look, I'm all for freedom of speech, but don't electrocute dogs.
No.
Hell no. I just want to say personally, thank you, Man of Culture. Wonder Woman salute for this. Yes, this is the second super chat, but yeah, guys, I really appreciate everything. Slay Every Game, Haichu as well. I see you all guys in the chat. There's a quick comment. Chiburashka. That's so funny. So Empress, did I fool you and pass your mod trust? This just from you and my other. What? Oh, that's our troll. That's our troll. Yeah. Okay. My mods acted quickly.
Why is the 40K Empress talking to no one? I have no idea what she's doing. This is why I'm in charge, folks, because she just speaks randomly about people who don't exist. Living proof that no, I'm not
No,
continuing
I just
that
say I
line
have
of
these
dialogue.
war powers because Empress, the
Mm.
equivalent of the Emperor, but in another realm. So I just have war powers. I see things that you don't see, and then they disappear magically because of my powers. So it's so good.
You're one psyker short of an emperor's sacrifice, but I do appreciate everyone's support, especially in these trying times. But I think the overarching narrative of today's show is that it's one rule for people like us, and it's one rule for people in the entertainment establishment, in the political establishment, and that's why we don't need uniformity, folks. We need unity in understanding that we all have the same opposition, right? You've got the demon rats, and you've got the rhinos, of course. You've got the people who dominate the center, right? Trying to keep out anyone who really wants an America of the people, by the people, for the people. And I think it's very important to call out what Hasan is doing, because the more he gets away with stuff like this, whether it's saying America deserved 9/11, electrocuting dogs, treating his audience like scum, the more the stakes will go higher, okay? Higher and higher and higher, because the more he gets away with something, the more likely he'll do something even more egregious. I joked earlier about, yeah, he starts a family, he gets some wives, because he is of that persuasion. Then why doesn't he put shock collars on them? And if they move, bzzz. He got away with it before with a dog.
Jesus Christ, I really pray to God that he's not gonna get away with this because other people are gonna get involved when animals are hurt. So this time is a bit different. People that, I mean, organizations, I hope that maybe never heard of Hassan now will hear of him and they will do whatever they can to fix that. I pray to God. There's many clips, like you said, there's even older clips where some woman was a guest directly sitting next to him, and she said that the collar of the dog is too tight because she can't even put two fingers in between the neck and the collar, which is the rule. When you have a dog, you can only put two fingers, so it's not too tight, but it's not too loose. It's very important. And the other thing is, why the heck he has a collar when he's inside? That's actually dangerous. He can get in, I mean, she or he can get entangled somewhere and suffocate to death. That actually happens, especially to puppies and young dog owners that have no idea what they're doing. Never keep a dog with a collar on his neck in the house. So there's many things that are wrong with this. Not only this, what happened now, but I pray that this at least will lead to him getting consequences, and that dog hopefully gets to someone else that is actually going to treat it how the dog deserves to be treated. I just pray to God.
Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if it wasn't for the government shutdown, folks, and the congressional hearings went ahead with Twitch, with Discord, with Steam, coinciding with this as being a hot topic of the day, I think Hasan would have been wiped out over this just to protect Twitch's interests. Oh, look, we're not in favor of this egregious stuff. Let's bamboozle this congressional hearing and get away with it and sacrifice Hasan, bring him back and say, I don't know, a week or a month, and make a big ploy of how we're for safer communities online. So you could argue who's benefiting the most from the government shutdown? It's Hasan Piker.
Yeah, there's another thing too, because I don't think eventually everything has a beginning, middle, and end. And people, the audience here watching, everybody that's watching, anyone that supports our channels, all that good stuff. I'm going to say this: people are smart and people see it, because I've gotten a lot of angry messages from viewers who weren't angry at me. And I don't mean to bring this up again, but hear me out. Hey, I support your channel. I love your work. I want to be notified. It's not fair that I'm not being notified when you upload a video or you go live. And it's very upsetting, because it puts more pressure on the audience. It's like work for them. It should be automatic. Hey, all right, I'm subscribed to this channel. And yes, we all get bombarded with messages. There's a way to control it here and there, but people should know when their favorite content creators go live, and they should be able to see and consume the content, all that good stuff. But yet Hasan is able to have that privilege. And anything that happens now is going to be very interesting to see, because I follow Legal Mindset. I follow a lot of his work, and what's happening to Reddit, they could be in the chopping block very soon, especially with what some of the allegations are and some of the things that have been recently discovered. I don't know if any of you guys follow Legal Mindset, what's happening with Reddit and the Ethan Klein thing that's happening there, because my goodness, that's going to shake things up, because it's not only just Twitch that could be facing extinction. It could be Reddit. It could be a lot of things that are going to upend how we view and consume social media. And the last thing I want is for all of us to be censored even more. If anything, I want the levels to go back to 2015 when things used to be fun. Remember fun, guys? Do you guys remember fun? No?
Oh
No one
no,
remembers fun.
I do remember fun. Everything is
Yeah.
was more fun
To,
before 2016.
to quote one of my favorite anime characters, and I'll just keep it quiet. I like fun things because fun things are fun. Let that be on my tombstone.
I'll tell you this, folks. All I ever remember is the culture war. The culture war is endless, like the war in Iraq, or the war in Afghanistan, or the war in Vietnam, or any war that drags on far too long, folks. And I think that's the great danger we find ourselves in, is that we get stuck in this perpetual loop because of situations where we may have majority support, and I think we do now across the board, regardless of political ideology. But we have to understand that the opposition we're facing is in the institutions actively, not just forward facing in front of our faces, but also behind the scenes as well in the administration and in the bureaucracy. And those people are far more difficult to get rid of than a forward facing politician or a forward facing executive. The only way to get rid of those kinds of people is institutional change, which is never easy, it is never quick, and it is never, in a sense, peaceful. Even under the best case of scenarios, you'd be sacking hundreds of thousands of people, and that's going to cause a lot of problems in the short to medium term. And look, the UK, the US, purely as examples, we can't afford a short term or medium term downturn because we've been going through one for the last 10 20 years, even if you want to. Yeah, we are a few years away from the 20th anniversary of the financial crash. So we're stuck in this rock meets hard place. And I think the way to push forward is that the faster that we do it, the better off we will be in the long term. That's my personal view. And it starts with, in a sense, isolating and containing the likes of Hasan, who electrocutes dogs and says America deserved 9/11. Could you imagine a political commentator in the 1950s or 1960s in America saying America deserved Pearl Harbor?
No, are you kidding me? They would have been dragged out and beaten, and you know what? Better yet, they would not be killed, but no one would find them for a very long time. There you go.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah,
exactly. Damn.
I'm just watching.
No,
my
one of the
Pomeranian.
things.
He's just super cute right now. Just rolling
One
around.
of the things. You're welcome. I'm good like that. You're welcome, Kit. You're welcome. It's one of them situations though. It's like what Digny has said is very accurate because that's why I've always called it the spirit of the age, right? Because people call it woke, and back in the 90s it was called political correctness, and and it's one of those situations where, like you guys were talking earlier about how I miss 2015, I miss back when things were fun, but what it is the problem is we were living in ignorance back then. We didn't realize, because all of these people with all of their opinions still existed back then. The difference was they weren't public about it, right? And what did 2015 change? Well, all of a sudden, their worldview of how they thought everything was going to go, they knew it beyond a shadow of a doubt exactly how everything was going to go in 2015 and 2016 because they'd been working on it for decades. They had all of their people in the right places. They'd taken over the government, right? Obama made sure all of those guys were embedded deep within all of those agencies over his 8 years. All of these liberties got eroded with like the Patriot Act and all of this rest of the kind of stuff, right? And so we know what happened to DC and Marvel back then, right? 2000 was really why I always tell everybody, basically don't read anything post 2000 because that's when like they screwed up Morph's origin story. That's when they turned Nightcrawler, one of the most Catholic characters in the X-Men, into being born of 2 lesbian moms. You know what I mean?
Wait,
so,
what?
What?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
No.
yeah. Yeah. So, like, there's all this kind of like crazy shit that they did right around that era because at that point they'd already taken control of the institutions. We just didn't realize it because they were still keeping quiet. They still had to keep their face down. Like you said, you couldn't have said that thing about Pearl Harbor in the 50s because it would have been Jimmy Hoff all over again. They would have never found your body, right? But that's the difference is then when they're like, oh, okay, cool, Obama, yeah, great, we're going to lead right into Hillary. And then when they found out that the majority of people actually didn't agree with them, right? And weren't just in lockstep with everything, their brains shattered, right?
Yep,
So now
broke the
all the
system.
masks came off. Yeah, all the masks came off. The demons stopped hiding. All they did is put what they'd always believed on public display, and now everyone is more aware of it. So yeah, ignorance might have been bliss, but these are the same monsters we were dealing with back then. They were just a lot better at hiding it then.
I think
now
they think
it's
money.
okay.
Yeah, the steroid shot of money too helped out a lot. And
Oh, well,
Trump-
yeah.
yeah. I mean, of course, there's that. And the thing is, like looking at 2016, because I remember 2016. I remember that whole election cycle. I mean,
So do
look,
I.
I mean, first of all, in the primary, again, the last I checked, the person with the higher numbers, again, Bernie being the nutless cuck wonder that he is, still allowed.
Bitch sold out.
Yeah,
Bitch
I know.
sold out.
Yeah, I mean, he was a cuck. He was a nutless wonder. And the way that whole primary played out, and voting and places being shut down, people waiting in line for 12 hours, and then you have
And
the
that was at
general
the
election.
That was the Democratic's party nomination.
Yes, and then
Yep.
in Philly, because I was there in Philly, and I got to tell you, I saw what happened to a lot of those Bernie Sanders supporters. They were getting doxxed. They were being threatened. They were getting phone calls saying like, hey, we know where you live, where you work, and all their stories were the same. I was like, whoa, holy cow, you all are, you better be careful. You better check underneath your car in case you don't got a bomb or something. And then, of course, you had the general election, and Hillary didn't do herself any favors. And Trump, like I will say this about Trump, is the greatest moment ever during that primary, during the was when all 16 candidates were on the stage and money in politics was brought up. And it was the most real honest answer we ever got in American politics, and it still flies over people's heads. First Republican primary debate, Trump is asked about money in politics, and he's like, yeah, I give these people money and they do what I say. The most honest answer ever. And then when the moderator said, like, who took money? Who took money from Trump? Most of the panels, all the people up there raised their hand. And then, my neurons were working, my brain, because I was like surprised by Trump. But my grandpa, God rest his soul, said this. He said, kid, this is who Trump is. This is who he's been. Remember, he used to be a Democrat. And thank God for grandpa, because and it all says, like, wait, Hillary was a United States New York senator. She was friends with Trump. She probably took his money and did what he said too. And that's how the game is played. And people were upset with how that election turned out. But then now next time, don't have such a piss poor candidate that nobody likes.
That SNL skit with Chris Rock was the most perfect explanation of exactly what went down on freaking election night. Because God, that was so accurate. And we saw that go out into the ether on all of those people.
Wasn't Dave
themselves.
Chappelle part of it too?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he came in at the very end.
Yeah.
It was to let you know. Chris Rock came in at the very end. It was Dave Chappelle, and then Chris Rock came in at the very end. That's what it was.
Yeah. Great work. But that SNL era, where Trump was just made into a clown the whole time, and then guess what? Turns out they had to eat a lot of crow.
I mean, he's always been this guy. He's always been the apprentice guy. It's like going, you're fired. And everybody loved him for that. Yeah. It's like, dude,
he was a Democrat. He was a Democrat.
He was a middle. Yeah. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, no, you put an R next to his name, and all of a sudden he becomes public enemy number one. You know what I mean? And we see the exact same thing happen in Hollywood over and over and over again. Anybody comes out with even the inkling of conservative ideology, or God forbid, be a Christian in Hollywood, Bible study Sundays at 2 p.m. It's like, holy God, you know what I mean? Like, this is exactly what we see happen. And so that's all it took. And all of a sudden, the most popular guy in New York, the guy that gangsters and rappers used to sing songs about, all of a sudden becomes public enemy number one. Because he put an R next to his name.
There is a precedent.
That's why it's a cult.
To compare, what Hasan did with the electric collar to Chrissy Nome, because I remember There's a lot of controversy surrounding her putting one
What's
of
it-
her dogs down. It
Oh.
caused a lot of controversy. A lot of, especially, the kind of Schumer-esque Democrats, because he's the only one I can remember, were condemning her for doing that radio silence when Hasan electrocutes his dogs. I'll tell you this: if Tectone was on camera using a shock collar on one of his dogs, I don't know if he has a dog, but if he had done that,
No, he's got a dog.
in-
He's got a
yeah,
dog.
in-
Yeah, no, he's got one.
instant cancellation from Twitch, instant cancellation from all sponsorships, instant removal from the zeitgeist. It's living proof that if the institutions back you, you can get away with a lot. But as soon as you cease to be useful, like Kit mentioned with P. Diddy, as soon as you cease to
Oh,
be
God.
useful,
Oh man.
bye bye.
Yep,
One
under
way
the
or
bus.
another.
Yeah,
Bye
yeah.
bye.
And by the way, we got to be very careful on people
I
who
know,
we do
I know.
names. There was a guy, first name J, last name E. Something happened in 2019 in the great state
Yeah.
of New York. I don't know where, somewhere in the great state of New York, maybe in a place similar to the name. Someone went down there, and I'm like, not what the autopsy says.
Yeah, and actually coming to find out that like the original recording was deleted, and then like the actual
Come on,
The-
there's
the-
nothing real. Coffeezilla
the
broke that
footage-
down, man.
yeah, the footage that they released after the fact was like doctored. It was missing like a minute and a half or something.
2 minutes.
some-
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah,
to be more
2 minutes,
precise.
yeah. So it's like, look, I mean, I get it. I'm not saying that I'm it's like people are done with this crap. We're done believing your bullshit. Also, at the same time, we're done listening to your bullshit because you've pointed your finger at the common people for too fucking long, and we're going, wait a second. We actually pay your salaries, Hollywood. We buy your movies, we watch your TV shows. We can tell you to go kick a bag of rocks down the fucking road. And that goes for, political ass wipes as well. It's like,
Yep.
you're supposed to answer to us, and we're kind of sick of your shit. And for the second time in history, Donald Trump being the giant middle finger from the American people to basically the political establishment has been elected again. And so, yeah, like there are a bunch of losers crying about it. But you know what? You have lost so many people from the Democratic left. You're not Democrats anymore. You're far left weirdos. Like you just are.
There really isn't anything because I've covered this a lot in regards to what is politically in the left. I mean, there used to be something unified, but when 2021 happened, I don't know if you guys are familiar with. Again, this is a long run, but 2021 was when the big fracturing happened, when those who were just reasonable broke away, and then there's different factions. So 2021 forced the vote. That was the big war that happened that caused the left to fracture. And one day, like I'll be here for like an hour explaining just what the hell went down in that year. But that was the year when the big breakup happened and people just separated. So when you talk about Democrat Party, what the left is, which group are you talking about? Because there's so many factions now. Yeah,
It's
Well,
a
it's who
fractured.
controls
It's
the
like a broken
institution.
egg.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a broken egg now, which is
Yeah.
why they are in the wilderness. It's
Exactly.
just that for
Two
my
districts-
own.
two districts in Chicago in on November 5th turned red. That's never happened in Chicago's history.
Nope.
My family's been living here since my great grandfather, my mother, myself, 4 generations deep. That's never happened. When I saw that, it reminded me of a conversation that I had with my grandpa when Obama first got elected. I remember, we were both sitting down watching TV, the map turning blue and red, all that stuff. And I said, my grandpa was drinking martini and said, "Kit, what, I can't believe I'm seeing this. This is historic for the first time ever." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then he said, "Kit, wait a minute, hold on. What color is Indiana?" I said, "It's blue, Grandpa." He said, "Forget seeing a black man become president of the United States. I never thought I'd see Indiana turn blue for a black man running for president of the United States. I'd never see that." If he was alive, he would never have imagined 2 districts in Chicago turning red for Trump.
Yeah.
When I say things aren't supposed to happen, that was a big sign, because in 2027 we got a city election, and this mayor that we got, it's going to be an absolute.
The
yeah.
the landscape is completely shifting, folks. And I want people to understand this right here, right now. there is a time and a place for self-reflection when you get your ass kicked. And after a period of self-reflection, it's I'm gonna electrocute my dog.
Oh.
That's where we are. Hassan Piker,
I mean,
in my view, is the living physical embodiment of the Democrats reaching out to young people. And if he does not face repercussions for what he is doing, it will inspire a lot of his underlings to abuse dogs in the same way. Surely.
I,
Oh
I,
no,
I,
no! I'm going to
no,
be. I don't know what.
no.
I just. I
up
don't know
his
what I'm
butt.
gonna do, but I mean, we gotta do something
Well,
about this. We can't allow this to happen
Well,
ever again.
the,
I
the
just.
best
no.
the best thing anybody can ever do is keep calling this out and talking about
Yep.
this. Bring it up every time he look. I'm not a guy that can cover people all the time. Like that stuff gets really old for me. I like corporations and the people that represent those corporations. But like for those of you out there that do cover this stuff, and if you're very passionate about, because passion is what's the most important part, right? I'm passionate about taking down major corporations. Other people are passionate about going after specific individuals because of something they've done because it's close to them. And that's passion is what can drive you to do that kind of stuff and be able to keep up with it all of the time. Right. And this is one of the things. If you're passionate about what this monster has done, then talk about it and don't ever let him, even if you think if you've got 100 subscribers, if you've got 5 subscribers, if it's just your mom and your cousin and your sister subscribe to your YouTube channel, right? If you're passionate about this, talk about it because every single drop is required for a tidal wave, or that tidal wave doesn't do the damage it does. So it doesn't matter how small you think you are, it doesn't matter how little reach you think you have. Trust me, it all adds up. And most importantly, the old man upstairs is going to see it. And so if you keep calling this stuff out, it's going to have an effect because at some point you reach a mass and it just overwhelms the whole system. And so that's what you keep doing. Make sure nobody forgets how much of a monster Hasan is. And you don't have to keep talking about the dog because guarantee you, he going to do something else stupid real quick. You're going to have content for until he goes away. You're going to have content until he goes away for that idiot.
There's another thing too. Remember, and again, I'm going to defer to legal mindset because you guys should check out its content. But and I'm not going to do it any justice breaking it down here because I know we got a little time left. But we have to take into account that this whole thing surrounding Hasan. There's also this proxy war with Ethan Klein and all of Hasan's orbiters who are really in some serious trouble here. See, the thing is, there is going to be a showdown. There is going to be a massive toe-to-toe slug match that's going to happen. And Hasan, as much as he might deny it, I don't think he can stop. I don't think at this point, he is on his own path to state and do whatever he feels like because he's been able to get away with it. But when you are able to get away with so much and have a lifestyle or either enjoy the comfort of social media boosting you up, I think it's hard for you to see reality for what it is. I mean, and I always wonder, like, okay, if I ever had 1 million subscribers getting 1 million views a day, how would I be? And that is a very frightening thing to consider. Like, does it transform you up here mentally? Do you become somebody else where you don't see the fall ahead of you? And I think that's the problem right now Hasan is dealing with, is because he's been protected so long and what he's been able to get away with. But see, when you have viewers, wait, hold on. Not too long ago, didn't one of his supporters get arrested because he was allegedly involved with some kind of hold on, I got to pull this up here now, because I think a supporter who was on Hasan's live stream got arrested in Illinois. Hasan,
Damn.
No, wait.
Well,
hold on.
I'll tell you this right here, right now. Hopefully, everyone is enjoying this brand new network show. You're gonna have some very long and meaty timestamps, which means I'll be able to cut them up and make multiple videos about them, which is fantastic. But
Congrats!
go
You
and
just
check out.
became a mom, by the way.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. But go and check out everyone's channels. It's very simple. Just type in Legion Games 2076 and you'll find one of Ryan's main channels. Check out the Common Nerd. You'll find his channel, and you can check out Chicago Reacts or Hard Lens Media. That's where you can find Kit. Of course, you can find me at the Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, Digny for short. I'm like Dignitas.
Correction.
Except I won't kill you. Go on.
Yeah, correction. This was September 10th, 2025. Hasan Piker featured a Detroit man in his live Twitch stream just a week before he was charged with nearly a dozen accounts of making extremist threats. That's a safe way to say it on the YouTube. So there you go. Apparently they were in Detroit City. He was in Hassan's live stream, and allegedly this person was making some very questionable threats, especially in Illinois. Another person who making other kind of threats as well. So, yeah, not really good for Hassan. I won't say that he's due for a fall, but okay, all right, that's happening.
Jesus.
I think the more a creator grows, especially if they grow too quickly, the danger for them to go insane it just multiplies. A fantastic example, and we've covered this before quite a few months ago. In fact, was that of Sungran Studios. Remember him, Empress? Remember him? How he went absolutely insane. He started his own country music channel, complete rebrand. My mentor and Smash JT were covering it, and as we were covering it, he changed it all back and apologized for going insane.
And I
But
did a parody of him that Smash
yep.
reacted to that live.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't try to cosplay as him, because then you would have gotten canceled real quick.
Oh,
no,
super
no.
fast.
Just imitated the hell out of him.
Yeah. Indeed. But we appreciate everyone's support. And I think it's very, very important to stay grounded in doing what we do, because if you succeed too much, it will get to your head. And if you're protected by the existing system, then there is a massive temptation to do whatever you want, right?
Yes.
It is alluring, because the more you succeed and the more you survive attempted cancellations, the more confident you get, the higher the stakes, and the crazier you end up becoming. It's a real danger.
And then the need to get back to like Vitelli, for example. I mean, he was the OG on YouTube for a very long time. And look what happened to him in the Philippines. I mean, first of all, he had that ridiculous, horrific attack that he did to a woman way early on. Then he does this stuff in the Philippines, and it was like, he ain't going to be getting out anytime soon. Then you got Somali too. Well, he did not have such a huge rise. The more people kept egging him on, look at where he's at now. I'm surprised he walked out of Israel in one piece last year. I don't know how he pulled that off. Like, God was on his side. You know, I don't mean to be using the boss man upstairs, but some guardian angel was working overtime and decided to take vacation. You know what? You're going to screw around South Korea? I'm taking a vacation. I can't help you anymore.
You know, really thinking about that situation, folks, I think if you fuck around in South Korea, you should find out in North Korea. What better way?
On a t-shirt.
What better way?
Put that on a
What
t-shirt.
better way? Honestly, though, Empress, what better way to unite the Korean Peninsula? All of South Korea's criminals get sent to North Korea to be part of their labor force, because they need all the people and all the poo to fertilize that they can get. So that'd be a good trade agreement. Technically, it would be human trafficking, but practically, it would be a good way of, look, it would be a great way to be like, oh, we're just sending you to another part of the same country. Wink, wink. So there you go.
You know, there was, what was that guy? There was one of these kick streamers. Why am I forgetting his name now? Because but he talks like this, and he had some problems in Japan, but he talks like this or something like that.
Oh, damn.
But he allegedly did some problems in the DMZ zone. Why, if you have so much content creators? No. I don't know what's Ice Poseidon. There we go. Ice Poseidon. Why did I forget his name? Yes, Ice Poseidon. Yeah, he did a short video. If you look it up on X, like, yeah, he was screwing around near the DMZ zone, and then there was another dumb idiot who was screwing around by the North Korean Chinese border, where there isn't so many guard towers where somebody could go ahead and pick you up, like the drug for clout. It's very bad. And it'll
I don't know what's I don't know what's scarier, being on the Chinese side or the North Korean side of the border.
Ryan, how long's the DMZ between North Korea and South Korea?
What is it, like 50 miles, 25 miles, something like that?
Oh God,
It's a long
3 miles.
3 miles. Okay.
How long is your run in the Army?
My run in the army was 5 years. I never went to
No,
Korea
no,
though.
no, no, no. Your run
Oh, run.
test.
Oh, your run test in the army is 2 miles. Was 2 miles. I think they what they do? Chip it down to 1.5 now.
I thought, man, it was
Marine Corps
three
was
back
3
in the
miles. Yeah,
day.
Marine Corps for me
I'll
was,
say
was
it was
3
3
miles. Oh, 04 to 08, that's when I served, and it was always a
Okay,
3 mile
yeah.
run.
Okay.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
it's
It's the
a
no,
length
well-
of the
mile.
it's the length of the DMZ between North and South Korea.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
are-
No, I never went to Korea, which I was supposed to. Then they diverted me to Germany. So.
Well, I'll tell you this, folks. We are one step closer to starting a network veteran show. It's really a toss-up between
you got 3
a
right
network,
here.
Yeah, it's really a toss-up
that's
between
true. We do.
a network show about pets, a network show about veterans, and a network show around, well, we already have the cartoon one, but it's between pets and veterans, okay?
No.
And, I think now more than ever would be a great time to do a pet show
Oh, boy.
so that we can all dogpile on Hasan Piker, the dog abuser. We like
That
to keep
kid
shows of the
sucks.
round. We like to keep shows of the
Yes.
round 2 hours so that our official host can get some sleep because she has a social life, which
Sleep's
It's
overrated. You can
exceedingly-
sleep when you're dead.
well,
Yeah,
you
but she's
don't.
I
she's
didn't-
pretty, dude. So she has a social life. We don't.
Okay.
Why?
Look, folks. The common
Guys,
nerd doesn't.
I
sleep.
have no social life. What are you talking about?
Yes,
I
you
mean,
do. Yes, you do.
Excellent.
I'm a
Excellent.
disciplined person. I don't go to clubs. I train. I do
No.
my videos. I walk my dogs. My social
There you
life
go.
is with the other dog owners that are all over the place, and we meet people. We talk. We help each other.
Look,
That's my
the-
social life. I don't go anywhere. So
The common nerd doesn't sleep because he has 6 kids and his woman was briefly on in a cameo. I should have said while she was here, here's to number 7. But in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to give folks some time for their future plans and a solid conclusion because we got to type in these timestamps. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll simply write that down for about 2 hours because I have no idea when this show actually started. So I'll just write 2 hours.
2 hours and
what
7
an
minutes. 2 hours and 7
There we
minutes.
go. 7.
Eventually, you just scan through it. You'll find it.
And 32
Ah,
seconds.
I'll try my best. But we're going to start off with Legion. Do you want to go first with your future
I can go
plan?
first.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no. So my future plans is to basically try to be on Noise Pollution show tonight. What is it? 7 p.m. my time. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Noise Pollution's channel. It's always a lot of fun. Just basically, well, I go there to talk shit to Dan. That's what and Roadkill. So because Roadkill was in well, he was in the Marines, but spent a lot of time on a Navy boat, so he's definitely a homo. So I'm just kidding. So
The
anyway,
sheep
Hey!
are too obvious after all.
Why you
The sheep
say
are
it?
too obvious. The sheep are
I
too
said
obvious.
I said he did. I didn't say you did. Now, if there's something you're feeling guilty about, then maybe.
Hey,
No.
here's my
Anyway.
favorite crayon.
So anyway, yeah, no, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and then hopefully tomorrow. I haven't been on a Friday stream in a while, doing
Mhm.
real life stuff. So yeah, it always kind of like creeps in when I wanna do YouTube stuff, and then I go, oh shit, I know I'm not gonna do that. So and I need to find a new scary game to play. The Thing remastered, not really scary. It's more like a thriller, so like shocked you
What
every once in a
about-
while.
What about Halo Combat Evolved? That's scary.
I don't think it is. I don't think
Especially
that's-
the flood
new
mission.
Halloween game that the Finch King sent me. It looks very fun. I may play that here on this channel for Halloween. I don't know how it was called, but if I can find it. Here it is. So, Pumping Jack. Pumping Jack. Like, literally, that's how it's called. Pumping Jack.
Wait. Bumping or pumping jack? Because there's a very different.
It's a
Connota-
pumping with the P. I'm gonna paste it
So
in
it's
the chat.
pumping jack.
Yeah.
He could be a workout guy. He could be a workout.
Logan
Let's get
posted it in the
pumped
chat. Thank you,
up.
Logan. Thank you, Logan.
Pumpkin jack. Okay.
Oh.
That's
Sure, it was
completely different.
Pumping
No,
jack means something very different.
Yeah,
That
please.
I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're Jack, he's a lucky guy, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Well,
she
people are
says she
laughing,
doesn't.
so it's all good.
Our host,
I'm sleeping.
our
guys, I'm
host
sorry.
says, Our host says she doesn't have a social life.
Yeah.
I disagree because she's been pumping Jack. Okay, I don't know who
There you
Jack
go.
is. Shout out to you, my good man. Look, all the guys are jealous of you right now. Okay,
Yes, it's
but
my ex.
was there anything else, Ryan?
I don't know. I thought about playing Silent Hill Homecoming because I love the old Silent Hill games.
Okay.
But we're gonna move on because I'm done after pumping Jack. So
Good.
And
Good.
I
Jack,
bet
thanks.
you are really wore you out, didn't it?
it does, yeah. You gotta use both hands.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
What about you, common nerd? How? Not how have you
Just
been? That's
gonna
for the
laugh, sorry.
intro. What are your future plans?
We are 12 subscribers away from 2,300 over on YouTube, so please come subscribe if you haven't already. Click that link because we are definitely shadow banned. If you try to search for Common Nerds, it will not show up. You'll find my gaming channel first. But tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 Eastern, we will be watching Nefarious, which if you haven't already seen that, it's got Sean Patrick Flannery from Boondock Saints as the main character for that one. It's really good. It's the most biblically accurate depiction of an actual demonic possession ever. It's absolutely insane. It's an incredible. It was marketed as a horror movie, but it's really way more of a thriller. And it is wild. It's like this guy is possessed by a demon and he's on death row and he wants this journal. This psychiatrist has to come and talk to him and decide whether or not he's clinically insane. Yeah, it's really good. And Sean does an incredible job playing the demon. So we'll be fundraising. Mrs. Common Nerd's phone's busted, and since this is my full-time job, we'll be fundraising for that tonight. So you can come play Get Common Nerd or Mrs. Common Nerd Stone game. Sunker Maiden will be joining us tonight for that as well. So that'll be a really good time. And then tomorrow we have $5 Fridays, which is just like my normal morning show, except you guys get to come and control how long the show goes. For every $5 donation or more, you guys can keep me in the chair for another 5 minutes. Our record is 8:05 a.m. Central Standard Time, and that show starts at 11 a.m. on Friday. So yeah, see if we can come break that at some point in the future as well. Saturday night, I got Comic Shop Talk with 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, Clobby's Clubhouse. Sunday, 2 p.m. Bible study. Sunday night at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. We have When Who Was Good, where we're revisiting classic Who right now. We got through all of the new Who. We ended with Capaldi because that is the end of new Doctor Who. And then we've got classic Who, so we're going through the Hartnell era right now. It's really a lot of fun. It's great. The morning show I do weekdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I have to bring this up because I have two other Warhammer 40K fans right now here. I am currently, if you join my Discord, I am currently in the process of setting up a Wrath and Glory game to do on my stream as part of I'm expanding my Warhammer 40K content with a couple of side projects, but that's the one that's public right now. And I'm working on that one. So if you're interested in playing Wrath and Glory with me, join our Discord. There's some obvious things about it. I've got a bunch of the characters already in there displayed because we're starting off with the starter set because I'll probably end up having to DM because I can't find anybody else to do it, and it'll be my first time doing it. So we're going to go by the book and do it that way, but it'll still be a blast. It'll still be a really good time, and if you've ever watched any D&D kind of style stuff before, you know it's going to be a lot of fun. My players are going to end up having absolutely running me through a rampant. But fortunately enough, I know the Warhammer 40K universe well enough that I have plenty of curveballs I can throw right back at them. So it'll be a blast. So come join the Discord at the Common Nerd, and you guys can check that stuff out. I'll make sure you guys get into all the right places for that. So if you're interested in doing that, that's something that I'm working in the process of just trying to collect the players and everybody else so I can start working on stuff like that. So yeah, that, and we've also got a Warhammer 40K book review podcast coming soon with my buddy Ironcaster as well. So if you like Warhammer 40K content, come check me out. I got plenty of that stuff down the pipeline coming as well. Other than that, Digny, thanks for inviting me. 40K Empress, it's a pleasure. Absolutely love meeting more 40K fans. Kit, but yeah, thank you guys for having me on. And Ryan, screw you. It's good to see you again, brother.
It's good to see you, fucker.
Wow, amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, this is my full-time job. I work 65 hours a week doing this stuff, so I'm always doing something.
Exactly, and that's why we like having the Common Nerd here, because he's taking time out of his busy schedule, and we appreciate him for being here. It's always nice bringing people together. My mentor tried his best with his show. I'm trying to do my best through the network that we are building, and I think the greatest advantage of what we do is the versatility and the adaptability of the network as we seek to continue expanding to more creators and more shows, and not just on YouTube, but on other platforms as well. I'm more of an exclusives kind of guy though, so it'll be exclusive to the platform, so to speak. I won't elaborate any more on that, but it's been a while since I've used Zoom. How about you, Kit? No, this isn't the intro. This is the outro. Future plan.
Outro, Digny. Outro.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Future plans.
first of all, I'm going to be joining the Common Nerds Discord. So there you go. Because I might look. I like meeting new people. So there you go. I like fun things. Fun things are fun. But number one, I will be doing a stream sometime maybe on Friday with Jamal Green, who's an entrepreneur and ran for mayor twice in Chicago. He's one of the dauntless few to actually care about Chicago, as well as maybe potentially another person as well. Again, all question marks until they get back to me. Who knows? But as you all know, there's a lot of stuff happening in my city, and it's becoming a real big hotbed. I was recently on the Jimmy Dore show, and I was talking about I know I was on that program, and I was talking about Chicago. My goal is to first, do content and collaborate with wonderful people and stay one step ahead of the stress that I've been facing off against. And for those that know, yes, I'm kind of in a little bit of a legal fight here. And, I help out with Hard Lens Media. Hard Lens Media is my channel. So, that's what I do here. And let me get the proper background here just so you guys can see it. Like, this is my personal channel right here that, doing work on. And, it's important for self-care and to stay above the fray. And when you believe in faith, when you believe in yourself, miracles can happen. It's just, if you don't take care of yourself mentally and physically, you will face a downfall. So my goal is to keep on going forward one step at a time. I can't predict the future. Maybe things will go the way I want, maybe it won't. But so long as I have faith in myself and good friends, things will come through. And I want to thank the 40K Empress specifically for being such a great voice of reason. If everyone's not following and subscribed to her channel, what the hell's wrong with you? And to you, Ryan, to the Common Nerd, to Dignified Gentleman, I encourage you guys to follow them. Great meeting all three of you, and good to know that two of them are fellow veterans as well. So what I
too,
can say
Matt.
is just live and love today and seize all tomorrows and win. If you don't fight for you, if you don't fight for yourself, you're gonna let everything else win.
Oh,
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly. And red face is offensive, Kit. JK lol. No, I was going to make a native joke, but I couldn't come up with a punchline. So I just stole all the land. In regards to my future
Okay,
plans,
Lando Lakes.
I know. But in terms of my future plans, folks, plenty of videos, plenty of shows, plenty of videos from said shows. Tomorrow, Dash Attacks Old White Road, because that's how he likes them, old, white, and on the road. We'll be live tomorrow, Friday, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern. Our special guest, who is our special guest going to be? Let me just have a look as I drop my scissors. Quickly turn the pages. 32 flavors of Nick Weiser will be our special
Ooh,
guest.
Okay.
Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah.
Very sharp. Very capable. He's also in the Friday Night Tights intro. So that, assuming they're still using the same one. But
Yeah.
as for me, thank you for all the support. Hopefully, we can get to 200 subs by the end of the month, 300 subs by the end of the year, and hopefully, we can get to 1,000 by the end of 2026. And by that time, we'll have 7 network shows a week, one for every day. I will go insane, say something stupid, and then wipe the whole thing out. And history will repeat itself. So, what about you, Empress? What are your future plans?
Oh, well, I'm about to do a Warhammer 40k video that is going to explain who to trust on YouTube when it comes to lore, and I'm going to explain how, psychology works when you see who is the author and how to decipher what they wanted to say, which is one of the things that I specialize in. It's deep. I mean, I haven't heard anybody touched on how you should think about certain things in the lore, how to understand them better, going from the source itself, the author. So it's gonna be very interesting, and I'm working, with that, and we are going to have at least one stream a week on the superhero channel discussing all kinds of news, the new James Gunn stupidity and how he totally crapped everywhere in Peacemaker and showed his degeneracy to the world. That is still a hot topic. There's other things, Jim Lee, other comic book stuff that are interesting. And of course, here I'm just gonna continue to do 2 times streams a week and cover whatever gaming news I can. So there's a lot of things that I'm juggling, and I still have to do my my videos for OnlyFans, which are educational and not explicit, not crappy, not sexual, whatever.
Good
Just
that,
normal
Ryan.
videos.
They're educational.
Yeah, educational with big E in front, fitness, health, nutrition. I'm just looking for topics, interesting topics also that are brought up for OnlyFans. Usually happen in the morning because people tell me cool things like gym girls trying to accuse guys of staring at them, and there's a lot of interesting stuff about that, and it's
Don't
absolutely
stare at me.
yeah, so I have a lot to cover there. I just use it for my fitness, health, nutrition content, some sex education that I just talk about different things, and my physique updates that are absolutely censored, and they just show how I'm sustaining a superhero physique, literally, for a woman for the past more than 10 years now. So that is it, yeah.
Good. Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 2 hour mark now. Thank you all very much for watching the second episode of the 40K Empress's Reigns and Rejects on the Gamer Empress's channel. Because, yeah. Thank you to OBS for hosting the show alongside StreamYard, despite the fact that I hate OBS with a passion. Thank you to Kit and the Common Nerd and Legion for being on. We appreciate you all, and as this show solidifies, the door is always open. Always interested in bringing people in. Ideally, this is the show for professionals. Ideally, but it's hard getting people on. That's why when my mentor first started doing shows, it was at 11 p.m. UK. Insane. We couldn't do a show that late here. Our lady guest has to sleep.
Yeah,
And so do I now. But
indeed.
if you haven't already, go and check out all of these creators. I'm sure you will enjoy what they have to offer. So, final
Thanks,
thoughts
everybody.
from our host, and then we'll wrap things up.
So yeah, guys, I tagged everybody in the description, so you can check all the channels that Ryan has. You can check the Common Nerd current main channel, of course. Kit, I tagged Chicago Reacts, but I think you can find his other channels from there. If not, I'm gonna change that after the stream. And of course,
Chicago.
the Dignified
Yeah.
Cartoon Gentleman.
Hmm?
Kit, what was that?
Oh no, just saying hi. Just saying thank you.
Oh, all right, guys. So, if that is all, I love you guys with me, the 40K Empress, and my lovely co-host, Dignified Cartoon Gentleman, Kit, Ryan, and the Common Nerd. Love ya, and bye-bye.
Bye for
See ya.
now.
Bye.
The 40K Empress leads the way as warriors of the imperium sway into realms where dangers play, where hidden minds hold sway. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes, with faith and fire will prevail, for the imperium must not fail. For the imperium we prevail. Beneath the grand cathedral spires, plots twist like smoldering fires. But with her blade of pure desire, she claims the stars entire. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes. With faith and fire we'll prevail, for the imperium must not fail. The imperium we prevail. Through storms and battle cries, her banners pierce the darkened skies. With bolter hymns the traitor dies, as loyal warriors arise. Saints and psychers bend the flame, every world speaks her name. The Empress rules without shame, as war she does reclaim. Through stars and storms we rise, under her watchful eyes. With faith and fire we'll prevail, for the imperium must not fail. The imperium we prevail. The warriors march with sacred might, their purpose burning crystal bright, to lift the throne world from its plight and guard humanity's light.